Your breath, your stance, even your heartbeat reveal whether you are awake or asleep. You were taught to chase money, yet the Bible whispers of a law that makes money chase you. This is not the gospel of toil, but the covenant of command, a secret encoded for kings, hidden from slaves. The prophets knew it, Napoleon Hill rediscovered it, and now it knocks at your door. You cannot ignore it, for to delay is to deny your inheritance. Rise into it now, and the abundance you seek will rise to meet you. Stop. Listen with the focus of a man whose life depends on the next words you hear, because it does. You have been lied to about wealth. You have been taught to beg for riches like a beggar pleads for bread. This is deception. The Bible never promised fortune to those who wait. The hidden law has always been this: gold chases understanding, wealth obeys definite purpose. Napoleon Hill did not invent these principles. He translated into practical language what Solomon already wrote in Proverbs, what Jesus demonstrated through parable, what every man who ever commanded riches understood in his bones. The law is ancient. The application is immediate. And if you grasp it today, you will never again wonder why others prosper while you struggle. But I warn you now, this is not inspiration. This is instruction. What I am about to reveal will transform you or convict you. There is no middle ground. You will either rise to command wealth through understanding, or you will continue to chase it like a dog chases its own tail, exhausted and empty-handed. Here is what we will accomplish together. First, I will expose the hidden law that makes wealth hunt you instead of you hunting it. Second, I will show you how to forge a definite purpose so precise that money has no choice but to serve it. Third, I will teach you the words that govern your mind and therefore your circumstances. Fourth, I will give you the ritual of obedience that transforms spiritual law into physical gold. And when we reach movement 6, you will receive the 11 mirror lines that reprogram your subconscious for wealth attraction, plus the 30, 60, 90-day ritual that measures your progress in execution, not in wishful thinking. Stay until the end. These 11 lines alone are worth more than most men earn in a year because they create the mental chemistry that draws riches like a magnet draws iron. Movement 1, the hidden law that makes wealth hunt you. You have been taught backwards. You have been programmed to pursue money, to chase opportunities, to hustle for prosperity. But the wise man does not hunt gold. He understands what gold hunts, and gold, like all forms of wealth, is attracted to one thing above all others: understanding married to purpose. This is why the scriptures say, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Not because wisdom sounds noble, because wisdom commands wealth. Understanding opens vaults. Knowledge applied through definite purpose transforms the poor man into a master of circumstances. Look at Solomon. He did not ask for gold. He asked for an understanding heart to judge his people, and because he sought wisdom first, riches poured into his kingdom like water flows downhill. The Queen of Sheba came bearing gifts not because Solomon was lucky, but because his understanding had created such abundance that the world came to learn from him. This is the hidden law. Wealth is the servant of understanding, not the master of those who beg for it. Now consider the common man. He wakes each morning thinking about bills, worrying about lack, focusing his mental energy on what he does not have. He speaks of poverty, dreams of lottery tickets, and wonders why rich men get richer while he stays poor. He has violated the fundamental law. He is hunting money instead of creating the understanding that money hunts. The rich man thinks differently. He does not think about money. He thinks about problems that need solving, systems that need building, value that needs creating. Money flows to him because he has developed the understanding that attracts it. He has learned what few men ever learn, that wealth is effect, not cause. Understanding is cause. Purpose is the trigger. Action is the delivery system. But what kind of understanding? Not academic knowledge, not theory, operational understanding. the kind that sees opportunity in chaos, profit in problems, systems in confusion. This is why a man can have 3 degrees and stay poor, while another man with a 6th grade education builds an empire. Education informs, understanding transforms. Carnegie understood steel, not just metallurgy, but the human systems that move steel from earth to empire. Ford understood assembly, not just mechanics, but the psychology of mass production and consumer desire. Rockefeller understood flow, not just oil, but the currents of supply, demand, and human behavior that create monopoly. Each of these men developed such profound understanding in their chosen field that money had no choice but to obey them. They did not chase wealth. They created conditions where wealth chased them. This is your first command. Stop chasing money. Start developing understanding, but not understanding in general. Understanding applied to your definite purpose. Understanding that solves real problems for real people. Understanding that creates value where none existed before. Ask yourself now, what do you understand better than most men? What problems can you solve that others cannot? What value can you create that the world needs? This is where your wealth will be born, not from wanting more, but from understanding more. But understanding without application is sterile. It is like seed that never touches soil. This is why the second part of the hidden law is equally crucial. Understanding must be married to definite purpose. Without purpose, understanding remains academic. With purpose, it becomes a money-making machine. Do you see the difference? The student accumulates knowledge for its own sake and dies poor but educated. The builder accumulates understanding for a definite end and transforms that understanding into fortune. Here is your first affirmation, and you must speak it aloud. I command wealth through understanding. I do not beg for money. I create the conditions that make money beg to serve my purpose. Repeat this 3 times. Feel the shift in your thinking. You are no longer a supplicant. You are a commander. You are no longer seeking handouts. You are creating value. This mental shift is the first step toward activating the hidden law. But I must warn you about the enemies of understanding. They are subtle, and they are everywhere. The first enemy is distraction. The modern world is designed to scatter your focus across 1,000 irrelevant concerns. Social media, news, entertainment, gossip. These are weapons of mental destruction. They fragment your understanding and make you weak. The rich man guards his attention like a miser guards gold. He feeds his mind only what serves his purpose. He studies only what builds his understanding. He thinks only thoughts that compound his power. This is why he grows wealthy while others stay poor. Not because he is lucky, but because he is disciplined. The second enemy is the need for approval. Most men seek to be liked rather than to be right. They soften their understanding to match the ignorance of others. They water down their vision to gain acceptance. This is spiritual suicide. Understanding demands courage. Truth requires strength. If you compromise your understanding to please others, you will stay poor forever. The third enemy is comfort. Understanding grows only under pressure. It develops only when challenged. If you seek the easy path, you will never develop the understanding that commands wealth. You must be willing to be uncomfortable, to be misunderstood, to be alone with your vision while others mock. Carnegie was called ruthless. Ford was called crazy. Rockefeller was called a robber. But they built their understanding despite criticism, and their understanding built their fortunes. The world's opinion is worthless. Your understanding is priceless. Now, what specific understanding will you develop? What field will you master? What problems will you solve? This is not a casual question. This is the foundation of your financial future. Most men never answer this question with precision, and so they drift through life broke and confused. Choose one area, master it completely. Develop understanding so deep that people seek you out for solutions. Become the man who knows what others do not know. This is how you activate the hidden law, but understanding alone is not enough. You must have a definite purpose that focuses your understanding like a lens focuses sunlight. Without purpose, understanding is power without direction. With purpose, understanding becomes wealth-creating force. This leads us to movement 2, where you will learn to forge a purpose so precise that money has no choice but to serve it. Movement 2, definite purpose, the magnet that commands gold. A ship without a destination is at the mercy of every wind. A mind without definite purpose is at the mercy of every circumstance. But the man who knows exactly what he wants and why he wants it becomes a force of nature that obstacles cannot resist and money cannot ignore. Most men have wishes, not purposes. They hope for better days, dream of easier times, fantasize about windfalls. But wishing is not deciding. Dreaming is not planning. Fantasizing is not creating. Purpose is decision crystallized into obsession, backed by the willingness to sacrifice everything else for its achievement. When Carnegie was asked how he became the richest man in America, he said it was because he had one definite purpose: to build the greatest steel empire, the Doddards of Doddard subcents, this world had ever seen. Not to make money, not to become famous, not to impress others, to build steel. Everything else was subordinate to that single, burning obsession. This is the power of definite purpose. It transforms scattered energy into focused force. It converts general ambition into specific action. It takes the raw material of desire and forges it into the iron will that wealth respects. But what makes a purpose definite? First, it must be written in precise language. Not, I want to be rich, but I will own a business generating $1 million in annual profit by December 31st of next year through solving the specific problem of small business automation. See the difference? One is a wish, the other is a command. Second, it must be supported by a plan. Purpose without a plan is delusion. You must know not just what you want, but how you intend to get it. The plan need not be perfect, but it must be written, detailed, and reviewed daily. Third, it must be backed by a definite deadline. Purpose without time pressure is procrastination in disguise. The deadline creates urgency. Urgency creates focus. Focus creates power. Fourth, it must demand growth. If your purpose does not force you to become more than you are, it is too small. Wealth flows to those who expand their capacity to receive it. If your purpose can be achieved by the man you are today, it will not create the fortune you desire. Let me tell you about a young man named Thomas Edison. At 21, he was broke, partially deaf, and considered unemployable by most standards, but he had a definite purpose: to create inventions that would light the world and improve human life. Not to make money, though money followed. Not to become famous, though fame came, to invent. Every day for 50 years, Edison worked on his definite purpose. He failed thousands of times. He was ridiculed by experts. He was told his ideas were impossible, but his purpose was definite. And definite purpose creates a mental magnetism that attracts everything needed for its fulfillment. Ideas flowed to Edison. Financial backers found him. Talented assistants joined his cause. Opportunities opened. Why? Because his mind, focused on a definite purpose, had become a magnet for everything that could serve that purpose. This is spiritual law in operation. Now examine your own mind. What is your definite purpose? Not what you think you should want, not what others expect you to want. What burns in your chest when you think about it? What would you pursue even if no one paid you? What would you sacrifice comfort to achieve? If you cannot answer these questions immediately and precisely, you have identified why wealth eludes you. You have no definite purpose, and money does not flow to the undecided mind. Here is what you must do. Right now, not tomorrow, not when you feel inspired, but now, write your definite purpose in one paragraph. Include what you want, when you want it, what you will give in return, and what specific service you will render to earn it. Read it aloud. Does it make your heart pound? Does it scare you a little? Does it seem too big for the man you are today? Good. That means it is definite enough to create the growth that attracts wealth. But I must warn you about the enemies of definite purpose. The first enemy is the opinions of others. When you declare a definite purpose, mediocre minds will tell you it is too large, too risky, too ambitious. They will counsel caution, suggest compromise, recommend delay. Do not listen. The poor give advice about wealth they have never created. The weak counsel strength they have never shown. Carnegie surrounded himself with men who shared his steel obsession. Ford worked with those who believed in mass production. Edison gathered inventors and believers. They protected their purpose from the poison of negative opinions. You must do the same. The second enemy is your own past failures. The mind loves to use yesterday's defeats to justify today's limitations. I tried business before and failed. I am not cut out for leadership. People like me do not become wealthy. These are lies disguised as facts. Your past does not determine your future unless you permit it to do so. Edison failed at his first business ventures. Carnegie started as a poor telegraph operator. Ford went bankrupt twice before building his automobile empire. Their failures did not define them because their purpose was larger than their setbacks. The third enemy is the comfort of small purposes. It is easier to want a slightly better job than to build a business empire. It is safer to hope for a raise than to create multiple income streams. It is more comfortable to dream of modest improvements than to demand extraordinary transformation. But small purposes create small results. If you want wealth, your purpose must be wealthy in scope. If you want freedom, your purpose must be liberating in scale. If you want power, your purpose must be commanding in vision. Your purpose must also be backed by burning desire. Mild preference creates mild results. Casual interest produces casual achievement. But desire that burns like fire in the mind attracts the people, ideas, and opportunities needed for its fulfillment. How do you create burning desire? Through repetition, visualization, and emotional involvement. Read your purpose aloud every morning and every evening. See yourself already in possession of the result. Feel the emotions you will experience when you achieve it. Make it so real in your mind that your present circumstances feel temporary and your future success feels inevitable. But desire must be transmuted into faith. Faith is the bridge between thought and reality. It is the mental state that accepts your purpose as already accomplished, even before the physical evidence appears. This is where most men fail. They desire wealth, but they doubt their ability to achieve it. They want success, but they fear failure. They dream of freedom, but they expect limitation. This divided mind cannot create focused results. You must choose. Will you have faith in your purpose or faith in your limitations? Will you expect success or prepare for failure? Will you act as if your wealth is inevitable or as if your poverty is permanent? The choice you make determines not just what you achieve, but what you attract. Faith attracts confirmation. Doubt attracts delay. Expectation creates manifestation. Here is your second affirmation. My definite purpose is the law of my life. I do not negotiate with obstacles. I do not compromise with circumstances. I am becoming the man my purpose demands. Speak this with conviction. Feel your spine straighten as you say it. This is not positive thinking. This is identity formation. You are declaring who you are becoming, and the world responds to who you declare yourself to be. But faith must be supported by action. This brings us to movement 3, where you will learn the words that reprogram your mind for wealth attraction. Movement 3, the words that govern your mind and money. Your words are not merely sounds that exit your mouth. They are commands that program your subconscious mind, shape your daily actions, and determine what you attract into your experience. The rich man speaks differently than the poor man because he thinks differently, and he thinks differently because he has learned to govern his speech. Most men speak carelessly. They say whatever enters their minds without considering the impact on their subconscious programming. They complain about their circumstances, joke about their limitations, and declare their problems more frequently than their purposes. This is mental suicide disguised as casual conversation. Every word you speak is heard by your subconscious mind, which accepts whatever you tell it as instruction. If you say, "I can't afford it," your subconscious mind works to make that true. If you say, "Money doesn't grow on trees," you program scarcity into your financial reality. If you say, "Rich people are greedy," you create internal resistance to wealth. But when you learn to speak with precision and purpose, your words become tools of transformation. They reprogram limiting beliefs, install empowering thoughts, and create the mental conditions that attract wealth, like a magnet attracts iron. The principle is simple but profound. Your external world mirrors your internal dialogue. Change your words, and you change your world. Speak differently, and you create differently. This is why affirmations, when properly constructed and consistently spoken, have the power to transform poverty into prosperity. But not all affirmations are created equal. Most people use weak, wishy-washy statements that carry no emotional power and create no real change. "I am becoming prosperous" is not an affirmation. It is a confession of current poverty. "I hope to be successful" is not a command. It is an admission of doubt. So, powerful affirmations are spoken in present tense, with absolute conviction, as statements of current reality. They do not hope or wish or try. They declare and command and claim. They are spoken as if the desired result is already accomplished fact. Let me share the story of a man who understood this principle deeply. His name was Charles Schwab, and he became one of the highest paid executives in American history, not because he was the smartest man in steel, but because he had learned to speak his success into existence. Every morning, Schwab would stand before his mirror and declare, "I am the most valuable executive in the steel industry. Companies compete for my services. I command premium compensation because I deliver exceptional results." He spoke these words not as hopes, but as facts. Not as goals, but as present realities. His colleagues thought he was delusional. His friends thought he was arrogant, but his subconscious mind accepted his declarations as instructions and began working to make them true. Ideas flowed to him. Opportunities opened before him. People sought his counsel. Within 5 years, he was earning more than any executive in America. This was not luck, this was law. The law of autosuggestion states that any idea repeatedly impressed upon the subconscious mind with emotional conviction will be accepted as instruction and acted upon. Schwab had programmed himself for success, and success had no choice but to obey. Now consider your own speech patterns. What do you say about money most frequently? What do you declare about your financial future? What words do you use to describe your relationship with wealth? If your current results disappoint you, your current speech patterns have created them. This is why I'm going to give you 11 specific affirmations that, when spoken with conviction and repetition, will reprogram your mind for wealth attraction. These are not pleasant-sounding phrases designed to make you feel better. These are mental commands designed to install new programming that creates new results. But first, you must understand the rules of effective autosuggestion. First, affirmations must be spoken aloud. Silent thinking lacks the emotional power necessary to impress the subconscious mind. Your voice carries vibration that your thoughts alone cannot generate. Second, they must be spoken with conviction, as if you absolutely believe what you are saying. Half-hearted repetition creates half-hearted results. You must speak with the authority of a man who knows his words create reality. Third, they must be spoken consistently, preferably at the same times each day. Sporadic repetition creates sporadic results. Daily practice creates permanent programming. Fourth, they must be emotionally charged. Words without feeling are powerless. You must connect emotion to your declarations, seeing yourself in possession of what you claim, feeling the satisfaction of achievement. Fifth, they should be spoken in private, at least initially. Negative minds will mock what they do not understand, and doubt is contagious. Protect your mental programming from the skepticism of others until it becomes unshakable within you. The most powerful time for autosuggestion is immediately upon waking and just before sleep, when the conscious mind is quieted and the subconscious mind is most receptive to new programming. This is when champions are made and fortunes are programmed. Here is what you must do starting tomorrow morning. Stand before your mirror immediately upon rising. Look directly into your own eyes. Speak with authority and conviction. Feel the power of your words entering your subconscious mind like seeds entering fertile soil. But affirmations alone are not enough. They must be supported by corresponding action. You cannot speak prosperity while acting poor. You cannot declare abundance while thinking scarcity. You cannot affirm wealth while making poverty-driven decisions. This is why the third element of word governance is equally crucial. You must eliminate poverty language from your daily conversation. No more, I can't afford it. No more, money is tight. No more, times are hard. These phrases program your mind for lack and limitation. Instead, you must learn to speak abundance even when your bank account suggests otherwise. I choose not to purchase that now because I am investing in higher priorities. I am building my wealth systematically. My income is increasing consistently. These statements program prosperity consciousness. The transformation will not happen overnight. Years of negative programming cannot be reversed in days. But if you persist with discipline and conviction, speaking wealth into your mind daily, your external circumstances will begin to mirror your internal declarations. People will notice a difference in your presence before you notice a difference in your bank account. You will carry yourself differently, speak more confidently, make bolder decisions. This is the first evidence that your mental programming is changing. But here is the crucial point. You must continue speaking your affirmations, especially when circumstances seem to contradict them. When bills pile up, speak abundance. When income decreases, declare increase. When fear whispers, shout faith. This is when your mental programming is truly being installed. Most men quit just before the breakthrough. They speak prosperity for a few weeks, see no immediate change, and return to their old patterns of complaint and limitation. But the subconscious mind requires time to accept new programming and create corresponding results. It is like planting a garden. You do not plant seeds on Monday and expect harvest on Tuesday. But if you tend your mental garden with consistent watering through repetition, weeding through elimination of negative speech, and fertilizing through emotional conviction, harvest is inevitable. Your speech is either creating wealth or destroying it. There is no neutral ground. Every word programs prosperity or poverty. Every declaration creates abundance or scarcity. Every statement builds faith or fear. Choose your words as carefully as a sculptor chooses his marble, because your words are sculpting your destiny. Speak with the precision of a surgeon, because your speech is operating on your subconscious programming. Declare with the authority of a king, because you are ruling your own kingdom of mind. Here is your third affirmation. My words create my world. I speak only prosperity, abundance, and increase. My language programs wealth into my experience. This is not merely speaking differently. This is thinking differently, made audible. This is believing differently, made manifest. This is becoming different, made vocal. But words without disciplined action remain empty noise. This brings us to movement 4, where you will learn the daily rituals that transform spiritual law into physical gold. Movement 4, the ritual of obedience that converts faith into gold. Discipline is the bridge between spiritual law and material manifestation. It is the daily proof that you believe your own declarations. It is the physical evidence that your purpose is more than wishful thinking. Without discipline, faith remains theory. With discipline, faith becomes fortune. Most men live lives of spiritual inconsistency. They speak wealth on Sunday and act poor on Monday. They declare abundance in private and demonstrate scarcity in public. They affirm prosperity in the morning and make poverty-minded decisions by afternoon. This divided behavior creates divided results. But the man who understands spiritual law knows that belief must be supported by corresponding action, repeated daily, measured precisely, and executed regardless of mood, weather, or circumstance. This is why rituals exist, not as empty ceremony, but as disciplined practice that programs success into the subconscious through consistent repetition. John D. Rockefeller understood this principle deeply. Every morning for 60 years, he performed the same ritual. He rose at the same time, reviewed his goals, read his affirmations, planned his day, and visualized his success. Every evening he reviewed his progress, recorded his lessons, and prepared his mind for tomorrow's challenges. His friends thought he was obsessive. His competitors thought he was rigid. But his ritual created the mental discipline that built the greatest fortune in American history. He programmed success into his daily behavior until success became as automatic as breathing. This is the power of ritual. It removes decision-making from activities that should be automatic. It creates rhythm where there was chaos. It installs success habits where failure patterns once lived. It transforms the occasional into the inevitable. But rituals must be precise, not general. They must be measurable, not vague. They must be daily, not sporadic. They must be progressive, not static. And they must be personally designed to support your specific, definite purpose. Here is the ritual framework that will transform your relationship with wealth. It is built on the foundation of the three movements we have already covered: understanding, purpose, and word governance. It will integrate these principles into daily practice that creates measurable progress toward financial freedom. The morning session begins at the same time each day, preferably before 6 a.m., when the world is quiet and your mind is clear. You will need a mirror, a written copy of your definite purpose, and your 11 wealth affirmations. The entire process requires exactly 23 minutes. First, you stand before your mirror and read your definite purpose aloud 3 times with increasing conviction. This is not casual reading. This is command delivery. You are instructing your subconscious mind about the outcome you expect it to create. Second, you speak your 11 wealth affirmations, which I will give you in movement 6. Each affirmation is repeated 3 times with emotional intensity. You are not merely saying words, you are installing mental software that will operate automatically throughout your day. Third, you spend 5 minutes in visualization, seeing yourself already in possession of your desired wealth. This is not daydreaming. This is mental rehearsal. You are training your mind to recognize opportunity and your body to act with the confidence of a man who has already succeeded. Fourth, you write 3 specific actions you will take that day to advance your definite purpose. These are not general activities. These are measurable steps that convert time into wealth-building assets. Systems to create, contacts to develop, value to deliver. The evening session begins exactly 12 hours after your morning session. You will need your progress journal and your definite purpose statement. This session requires 15 minutes of focused attention. First, you review the 3 actions you committed to in the morning. Did you complete them? If yes, you record the specific results. If no, you identify the obstacle and plan to overcome it tomorrow. No excuses, no justification, only honest assessment and strategic adjustment. Second, you identify 1 lesson you learned that day about wealth creation. This forces your mind to extract wisdom from experience and builds your understanding systematically. Successful men are students first, teachers second. Third, you prepare your mind for tomorrow by reading your definite purpose again and speaking your evening affirmation. Today I moved closer to my wealth. Tomorrow I will move closer still. I am becoming the man my riches require. But daily rituals alone are insufficient. You must also create weekly, monthly, and quarterly checkpoints that measure your progress and adjust your methods. This is how you ensure that your efforts are creating results, not merely activity. Weekly reviews happen every Sunday evening. You examine the previous week's actions and results. You calculate your progress percentage. You identify patterns of success and failure. You plan specific improvements for the coming week. This prevents drift and maintains momentum. Monthly assessments are more comprehensive. You review your financial position, analyze your income and expenses, evaluate your business or career progress, and adjust your strategies based on real-world feedback. This keeps you connected to reality while maintaining faith in your vision. Quarterly planning sessions are intensive retreats where you step back from daily activities and examine your overall direction. Are you on track to achieve your definite purpose by your stated deadline? What course corrections are needed? What new opportunities have emerged? What obstacles require different strategies? The power of this system lies not in any single element, but in the compound effect of daily discipline creating weekly progress creating monthly advancement creating quarterly leaps, and quarterly leaps creating annual transformation. But I must warn you about the enemies of ritual discipline. The first enemy is perfection paralysis. Some men refuse to begin until they have designed the perfect system. They spend months planning and never start practicing. This is procrastination disguised as preparation. Start with a simple ritual. Perform it consistently. Improve it gradually. Progress is more important than perfection. A basic ritual practiced daily is infinitely more powerful than an elaborate ritual performed sporadically. The second enemy is mood dependence. Most men perform their rituals when they feel motivated and skip them when they feel discouraged. This is backwards thinking. Rituals are most crucial when motivation is lowest. Discipline is what carries you through the valleys between peaks of inspiration. The third enemy is results impatience. Modern men expect microwave results from crockpot processes. They want wealth transformation in weeks, not months. When immediate results do not appear, they abandon their rituals and return to their old patterns of inconsistency. But spiritual law operates on its own timeline, not your preferred schedule. Seeds planted today may not bear fruit for months or years. But if you continue planting through ritual discipline, harvest is inevitable. Trust the process. Maintain the practice. Results will come. The fourth enemy is ritual inflation. Some men start with simple practices and gradually add more elements until their rituals become burdensome. They think more is always better. This is a mistake. Rituals should be sustainable, not exhausting. Better a simple ritual performed daily than an elaborate ritual abandoned weekly. Here is your fourth affirmation. I am disciplined in thought, speech, and action. My daily rituals program success into my subconscious mind. I practice wealth creation like a master practices his craft. Feel the power of commitment in those words. You are not hoping to develop discipline. You are claiming it as your current identity. You are not trying to establish rituals. You are declaring them as your established practice. But rituals must be balanced with flexibility. The framework remains constant, but the specific actions adapt to changing circumstances. If morning circumstances prevent your full ritual, perform an abbreviated version. If travel disrupts your routine, maintain the essential elements. The goal is consistency, not rigidity. Document your ritual performance. Keep a simple checklist that tracks your daily compliance. This creates accountability and reveals patterns. Most men overestimate their consistency and underestimate their gaps. Measurement brings honesty. Celebrate your ritual victories. When you complete a full week of perfect compliance, acknowledge the achievement. When you reach a full month, reward yourself appropriately. These celebrations reinforce the behavior and make discipline enjoyable rather than burdensome. But remember that rituals are means, not ends. The purpose is not to perform rituals perfectly, but to use rituals to create wealth perfectly. If your rituals are not producing measurable progress toward your definite purpose, adjust them. Discipline serves results, not the reverse. Some men become ritual addicts, performing increasingly elaborate ceremonies while their bank accounts remain unchanged. This is spiritual masturbation. Rituals that do not create wealth are worthless, no matter how spiritually satisfying they feel. The ultimate test of your rituals is this. Do they increase your understanding, clarify your purpose, improve your speech, and accelerate your progress toward wealth? If yes, continue and refine them. If no, change them immediately. Your rituals should evolve as you grow. The practices that serve a beginner may not serve a master. The disciplines that build initial momentum may not be sufficient for advanced progress. Adjust your methods as your capacity expands. This brings us to the integration of all principles into one comprehensive system. Movement 5 will show you how understanding, purpose, word governance, and ritual discipline combine to create the mental conditions that make wealth inevitable. Movement 5, the integration, when spiritual law becomes physical gold. Now we unite all elements into one seamless system of wealth attraction. Understanding provides the foundation. Definite purpose creates the focus. Word governance programs the mind. Ritual discipline ensures consistency. When these four elements operate in harmony, they create a force that wealth cannot resist. This is not theory. This is the exact system used by every man who ever built lasting fortune through applied faith. Carnegie understood steel and spoke steel success until his words became steel reality. Ford understood assembly and declared automotive dominance until his vision became global empire. Rockefeller understood flow and affirmed petroleum leadership until his belief became monopolistic control. Each of these men, without knowing Hill's terminology, applied the same fundamental principles. They developed specialized understanding. They maintained burning desire, focused on definite purpose. They spoke their success with unwavering conviction. They practiced wealth-building disciplines with religious consistency. The integration begins in your mind but manifests in your circumstances. Mental cause creates physical effect. Internal alignment produces external results. When your understanding, purpose, words, and actions all point in the same direction, you become a human magnet for wealth-creating opportunities. But integration requires more than individual practice. It demands what Hill called mastermind alliance. No man builds significant wealth alone. Every fortune is built through the coordinated efforts of multiple minds working in harmony toward a common objective. The mastermind principle states that when two or more minds work together in perfect harmony, they create a third mind superior to either individual mind alone. This collective intelligence generates ideas, solutions, and opportunities that no single person could conceive or execute independently. Carnegie's mastermind included 43 millionaires who dedicated their combined intelligence to steel empire building. Ford's mastermind included engineers, designers, managers, and marketers who transformed individual transportation through collective genius. Edison's mastermind included inventors, financiers, and business partners who electrified the world through unified purpose. Your mastermind need not include dozens of members initially. Start with one other person who shares your wealth-building commitment. Meet regularly, share ideas, challenge assumptions, hold each other accountable, support each other's progress, celebrate victories together, learn from failures collectively. Choose your mastermind partners carefully. They must be committed to growth, not comfort. They must speak success, not failure. They must practice discipline, not drift. They must believe in abundance, not scarcity. One negative mind can poison the entire alliance. Meet consistently, preferably weekly. Focus your discussions on progress toward your respective definite purposes. Review challenges and brainstorm solutions. Share resources and connections. Provide honest feedback and encouragement. Make each meeting a workshop for wealth creation. But beware of mastermind counterfeits. Social clubs are not masterminds. Complaining sessions are not masterminds. Networking events are not masterminds. True mastermind alliance requires mutual commitment to specific objectives, regular interaction, perfect harmony of purpose, and willingness to subordinate individual ego to collective success. The integration also requires elimination of wealth-destroying influences from your environment. You cannot build prosperity while surrounded by poverty consciousness. You cannot maintain faith while listening to doubt. You cannot practice discipline while associating with the undisciplined. Audit your relationships ruthlessly. Who do you spend time with? What do they discuss? How do they think about money? What do they believe about success? If the majority of your associations speak limitation, practice mediocrity, and expect little from life, their influence will contaminate your wealth programming. This does not mean you abandon family or loyal friends, but it does mean you must protect your mental environment as carefully as you protect your physical health. Spend more time with those who elevate your thinking. Seek out successful mentors. Join organizations of achievers. Read books by builders, not complainers. The wealthy think differently about everything, not just money. They think differently about time, relationships, problems, opportunities, failure, success, work, and leisure. By immersing yourself in their thinking patterns, you gradually adopt their mental frameworks and begin attracting their types of results. Study wealthy individuals systematically. Read their biographies. Learn their methods. Understand their philosophies. Model their disciplines. Adopt their language patterns, not to become copies of them, but to internalize the universal principles they applied. But integration must be balanced with authenticity. You are not trying to become someone else. You are trying to become the wealthiest version of yourself. The principles are universal, but the application must be personal. Your understanding serves your purpose using your words through your rituals. Now, let me address the obstacles that prevent most men from achieving integration. The first obstacle is compartmentalization. They practice wealth principles for 1 hour daily and poverty principles for the remaining 23 hours. They affirm abundance in private and speak scarcity in public. They visualize success in meditation and make failure-oriented decisions in business. True integration means your wealth consciousness operates consistently throughout your day. Your morning affirmations influence your afternoon meetings. Your evening visualizations affect your business strategies. Your weekend planning impacts your weekday execution. There is no separation between your spiritual practice and your practical actions. The second obstacle is impatience with the process. Most men want to skip from understanding directly to results without investing time in purpose refinement, word governance, and ritual discipline. They want the benefits without the requirements. They want the harvest without the planting, watering, and tending. But spiritual law requires sequence. Understanding must precede purpose. Purpose must precede programming. Programming must precede practice. Practice must precede results. You cannot violate this sequence and expect success. Shortcuts lead to failure. Proper preparation leads to fortune. The third obstacle is inconsistency under pressure. When circumstances become challenging, most men abandon their wealth principles and revert to poverty programming. They stop their rituals when they need them most. They change their words when fear speaks loudest. They question their purpose when obstacles appear largest. But pressure is precisely when integration becomes most valuable. Champions are forged in difficulty, not comfort. Wealth is built through persistence, not convenience. Your principles must be stronger than your circumstances, or your circumstances will always control your results. Here is your fifth affirmation. I integrate wealth principles into every area of my life. My understanding, purpose, words, and actions are perfectly aligned. I am becoming a magnet for unlimited prosperity. Feel the power of total commitment in those words. You are not partially applying wealth principles. You are completely embodying them. You are not occasionally thinking rich thoughts. You are consistently living rich reality. The integration creates what Hill called wealth consciousness, a mental state where prosperity thinking becomes automatic, wealth-building actions become habitual, and abundant results become inevitable. This consciousness transforms you from someone who wants wealth into someone who attracts wealth naturally. But wealth consciousness must be protected from the infectious doubt of others. When you begin applying these principles consistently, People will notice changes in your confidence, speech, and behavior. Some will be inspired, others will be threatened. The threatened ones will attempt to pull you back to their level. They will call your affirmations ridiculous. They will question your goals as unrealistic. They will remind you of past failures. They will predict future disappointments. They will disguise their fear as concern and their limitations as wisdom. Do not argue with them. Do not try to convince them. Do not share your methods with them. Simply continue your practice and let your results speak. Success is the only argument that matters. Wealth is the only proof that counts. As your integration deepens, you will notice synchronicities increasing. The right people will appear at the right times. Opportunities will emerge from unexpected sources. Ideas will flow more freely. Resources will become available when needed. This is not luck. This is law in operation. Your subconscious mind, programmed by consistent application of these principles, begins to recognize and attract everything that supports your definite purpose. It notices opportunities others miss. It connects with people others ignore. It creates solutions others cannot imagine. This is the ultimate goal of integration, to transform your mind into a wealth-attracting machine that operates automatically, consistently, and abundantly. Not through manipulation or desperation, but through alignment with spiritual law and consistent application of proven principles. The final element of integration is measurement and adjustment. You must track your progress numerically, not just emotionally. How has your income changed? How have your savings grown? How have your assets increased? How has your net worth expanded? Create monthly wealth statements that show clear progress toward your financial goals. This keeps you connected to reality while maintaining faith in your vision. It shows you what is working and what needs adjustment. It provides objective evidence that your principles are producing results. But remember that wealth building is not just about accumulation. It is about transformation. The man who earns his first million is not the same man who started the journey. The process of building wealth develops character, discipline, wisdom, and strength that are more valuable than money itself. This transformation prepares you for Movement 6, where you will receive the specific tools that program your mind for unlimited wealth attraction, the 11 mirror lines, and the 30-60-90-day implementation system. Movement 6, the sacred ritual, 11 lines that reprogram reality. Now we reach the heart of transformation. Everything we have covered, understanding, purpose, word governance, discipline, and integration, culminates in this sacred ritual that will reprogram your subconscious mind for wealth attraction. This is not ceremony. This is spiritual technology. You are about to receive 11 specific affirmations that, when spoken with precision and repetition, will install new mental programming that creates new financial results. These lines have been tested by thousands of men who transformed poverty into prosperity through their consistent application. But first, you must understand the sacred nature of what you are about to receive. These are not mere words. They are commands that reshape reality when spoken with conviction and faith. They are spiritual algorithms that reprogram your mental software for success. They are keys that unlock wealth-creating potential lying dormant within you. The setting must be prepared properly. You will need a mirror large enough to maintain direct eye contact. You will need complete privacy without interruption. You will need a written copy of these 11 lines. You will need 20 minutes of uninterrupted time. You will need the mental attitude of a man who is about to transform his destiny. Stand before your mirror. Look directly into your own eyes. You are not speaking to the reflection. You are speaking to the infinite intelligence that operates through you. You are not hoping these words will work. You are commanding them to work through the power of absolute faith. Speak each line 3 times with increasing intensity. Feel the words entering your subconscious mind like seeds entering fertile soil. See yourself already in possession of unlimited wealth. Feel the emotions of financial freedom flowing through your body. This is not pretending. This is programming. Here are the 11 lines that will reprogram your reality. Asterisk, asterisk. First line, asterisk, asterisk. I am a magnet for unlimited wealth. Money flows to me from multiple sources in increasing quantities. Speak this with the conviction of absolute truth. Feel magnetic power in your chest. See money flowing toward you like rivers flow toward the sea. This programs your mind to recognize and attract wealth-creating opportunities automatically. Asterisk, asterisk, second line. Asterisk, asterisk. My definite purpose creates unstoppable momentum toward financial freedom. Every action serves my wealth. Feel the power of focused intention. See your purpose as a laser beam, cutting through obstacles. Know that every step you take advances your financial destiny. This aligns all your activities with wealth creation. Asterisk, asterisk. Third line, asterisk, asterisk. I think, speak, and act like a millionaire because I am becoming one. My wealth consciousness expands daily. Adopt the mental posture of wealth. Feel your spine straighten with authority. Speak with the confidence of a man who commands resources. This installs the identity that attracts corresponding results. Asterisk, asterisk. Fourth line, asterisk, asterisk. Obstacles become opportunities. Problems become profits. Challenges become chances for greater wealth. Transform your relationship with difficulty. See every problem as a wealth-building puzzle waiting to be solved. Feel excitement when challenges appear because they bring growth and profit. This programs resilience and opportunity recognition. Asterisk, asterisk, fifth line, asterisk, asterisk. I attract wealthy mentors, profitable partnerships, and abundance-minded associates. My network creates net worth. Open your mind to wealth-building relationships. Feel yourself surrounded by successful people who support your growth. See opportunities flowing through human connections. This magnetizes the relationships that accelerate wealth building. Asterisk, asterisk. Sixth line, asterisk, asterisk. My understanding deepens daily. My skills increase constantly. My value to others multiplies continuously. Commit to constant improvement. Feel your capabilities expanding. See yourself becoming more valuable to the marketplace every day. This programs the continuous development that sustainable wealth requires. Asterisk, asterisk. Seventh line. Asterisk, asterisk. I save systematically, invest wisely, and build assets that work while I sleep. My money multiplies money. Transform your relationship with money management. Feel the security of growing savings. See your investments generating passive income. This installs the habits that preserve and multiply wealth. Asterisk, asterisk, eighth line, asterisk, asterisk. I am worthy of unlimited abundance. I deserve financial freedom. I claim my inheritance of prosperity. Eliminate unworthiness programming that blocks wealth. Feel deserving of abundance. Know that prosperity is your birthright, not a privilege reserved for others. This removes psychological barriers to receiving wealth. Asterisk, asterisk, ninth line, asterisk, asterisk. Fear has no power over my financial decisions. I act with courage, wisdom, and unwavering faith in my success. Transform your relationship with financial fear. Feel courage flowing through your veins when making money decisions. See yourself moving forward boldly despite uncertainty. This programs the courage that wealth building demands. Asterisk, asterisk, 10th line. Asterisk, asterisk. My wealth serves a greater purpose. I build riches to bless others and advance worthy causes. Connect your wealth to service. Feel the nobility of prosperity used wisely. See your fortune creating benefit for others beyond yourself. This aligns your wealth building with universal principles of contribution. Asterisk, asterisk, 11th line. Asterisk, asterisk. I am grateful for my current blessings and expectant of greater abundance. My wealth is inevitable. Balance appreciation with expectation. Feel gratitude for present resources while anticipating greater prosperity. Know with certainty that your wealth is guaranteed by spiritual law. This creates the mental state that accelerates manifestation. These 11 lines are spoken every morning immediately upon rising and every evening just before sleep. The morning session plants seeds of wealth consciousness. The evening session waters them with repetition. Daily practice creates the mental garden where prosperity grows, but the ritual extends beyond mere recitation. After speaking the 11 lines, you engage in 5 minutes of wealth visualization. You see yourself living the life your prosperity will create. You feel the emotions of financial freedom. You experience the satisfaction of achievement. See your bank account growing. Feel the security of abundant savings. Experience the joy of helping others through your wealth. Walk through your dream home. Drive your ideal vehicle. Enjoy your perfect lifestyle. Make this vision so real that your current circumstances feel temporary and your prosperous future feels inevitable. But visualization must be balanced with practical action. After your evening ritual, you write 3 specific actions you will take the next day to advance your wealth building. These are not general activities, but measurable steps that create progress. Contact a potential mentor. Research an investment opportunity. Develop a new skill. Create a valuable service. Build a system. Make a sale. Network with successful people. Every day must include actions that convert time into wealth-building assets. Now begins your 30, 60, 90-day transformation cycle. This is not a program you complete, but a lifestyle you adopt. However, the first 90 days are crucial for establishing new neural pathways and creating measurable momentum. Asterisk, asterisk, days 1 to 30, foundation building, asterisk, asterisk, focus on consistency above all else. Perform your morning and evening rituals without exception. Speak the 11 lines with increasing conviction. Build the habit of daily wealth visualization. Begin networking with success-minded people. Start one small wealth-building project. Track your compliance daily. Measure your progress weekly. Notice changes in your confidence, speech, and decision-making. Most importantly, maintain perfect consistency despite initial skepticism from your logical mind. Asterisk, asterisk, days 31 to 60. Momentum creation, asterisk, asterisk. Expand your wealth-building activities. Increase your financial education. Seek mentorship from successful individuals. Launch larger wealth-building projects. Join organizations of achievers. Eliminate poverty-minded associations. Notice opportunities appearing more frequently. Feel your confidence growing stronger. See your vision becoming clearer. Experience the compound effect of daily spiritual and practical disciplines working together. Asterisk, asterisk, days 61 to 90. Acceleration and integration, asterisk, asterisk. Your wealth consciousness is now becoming automatic. Your rituals feel natural, rather than forced. Your visualization creates genuine emotion rather than manufactured feeling. Your actions produce measurable results rather than mere activity. Expand your definite purpose if current goals seem too small. Increase your wealth-building activities to match your growing capacity. Form mastermind alliances with other achievers. Begin mentoring others who are starting their wealth-building journey. But I must give you this warning. The first 30 days will test your commitment severely. Your logical mind will resist these practices. Your old programming will fight for survival. Your current circumstances may appear to worsen before they improve. This is normal and temporary. The subconscious mind requires approximately 30 days to accept new programming and 90 days to make it automatic. During this period, you must maintain your practices, especially when you feel like quitting. This is when transformation is actually occurring beneath the surface. Do not judge results by daily fluctuations. Judge progress by weekly trends and monthly improvements. Like a farmer who plants in spring and harvests in fall, you must trust the process during the seasons when growth is invisible. Some men see dramatic results within days. Others require months to notice significant change. The timing varies, but the results are inevitable for those who persist with faith and consistency. Your commitment determines the outcome, not the calendar. Here is your final preparation affirmation. I commit to 90 days of perfect practice. I will not miss one morning ritual or evening session. I will speak these 11 lines with absolute conviction regardless of circumstances. My transformation begins now. Stand tall as you speak these words. Feel the power of total commitment flowing through your body. You are not hoping this works. You are commanding it to work through the power of unwavering faith applied through consistent action. Tomorrow morning, you begin the most important 90 days of your financial life. Everything changes when you change. Everything improves when you improve. Everything transforms when you transform. This brings us to the closing movement, where you will make the sacred commitment that guarantees your success and receive your marching orders for the next 24 hours. Closing movement, the sacred commitment, and your marching orders. We have reached the moment of truth, the moment where knowledge transforms into power, where understanding converts into action, where spiritual law becomes physical gold. But this transformation requires one final element that no teaching can provide and no technique can substitute: your absolute, unwavering, sacred commitment. Everything I have shared, the hidden law, definite purpose, word governance, ritual discipline, integration principles, and the 11 sacred lines, is worthless without your complete dedication to applying it. Knowledge without application is sterile. Understanding without action is useless. Faith without works is dead. You now possess the same principles that built every great fortune in history. You know the laws that Carnegie, Rockefeller, Ford, and Edison applied to transform poverty into prosperity. You have the mental technology that Hill discovered and codified for the ages. The only question remaining is this: will you use it? Most men who hear these truths will nod in agreement, feel temporarily inspired, and return to their old patterns without changing anything. They will make excuses about timing, circumstances, or capability. They will postpone their transformation until conditions are perfect, which means they will postpone it forever. But you are not most men. You are the one who stayed until the end. You are the one who received the complete teaching. You are the one who stands at the threshold of transformation. The question is, will you cross it? This is where I must address the enemies that will attempt to prevent your success. They will come not as obvious opponents, but as reasonable voices, counseling, caution, delay, and compromise. You must recognize them and reject them immediately. Asterisk, asterisk, the first enemy: I don't have time. Asterisk, asterisk. This is the most common excuse and the most deadly. You don't have time for 20 minutes of morning ritual. You don't have time for 15 minutes of evening practice. You don't have time to speak 11 lines that will transform your financial destiny. Yet you have time for social media, television, complaints, gossip, and countless activities that produce nothing but wasted hours. You have time for everything except the one thing that would liberate you from the time-consuming struggle of financial limitation. Here is the truth. You don't find time for wealth building. You create time for wealth building by eliminating time-wasting activities. You don't get more hours by complaining about busy schedules. You get more productivity by managing your priorities with military precision. Asterisk, asterisk. The second enemy: this seems too simple. Asterisk, asterisk. Your mind has been programmed to believe that wealth creation must be complicated, technical, or require special advantages. But the most powerful principles are always the simplest. Compound interest is simple but creates millionaires. Consistent saving is simple but builds fortunes. Daily discipline is simple but transforms lives. Complexity is often the enemy of execution. Simple principles consistently applied create extraordinary results. Complex strategies sporadically attempted create consistent failure. Choose simplicity with consistency over complexity with confusion. Asterisk, asterisk, the third enemy: I need support from others. Asterisk, asterisk, you want your family to encourage your rituals. You want your friends to understand your transformation. You want your colleagues to support your ambitions. This is natural but unnecessary and often counterproductive. The wealthy built their fortunes despite opposition, not because of encouragement. They moved forward without permission, not with unanimous approval. They believed in their vision when others mocked, not when others cheered. Your transformation is an individual journey that produces collective benefits. Focus on your own commitment, not others' opinions. Let your results speak louder than their doubts. Asterisk, asterisk. The fourth enemy. I'm not sure this will work for me. Asterisk, asterisk. This doubt reveals the fundamental misunderstanding of spiritual law. These principles don't work for some people and fail for others based on personality, background, or circumstances. They work for anyone who applies them with faith and consistency. The law of gravity doesn't care about your doubts. The law of compound interest doesn't require your belief. The law of wealth attraction doesn't need your permission. Your job is not to understand how these laws work, but to align yourself with them through consistent practice. Asterisk, asterisk, the fifth enemy. I'll start next week divided by month divided by year. Asterisk, asterisk, procrastination is the graveyard of potential. Every delayed beginning is a denied destiny. Every postponed commitment is a canceled transformation. Every I'll start tomorrow is really saying I'll never start. The perfect time to begin is now. Not when conditions improve, when you feel ready, when others approve, or when fear disappears. Now, while the teaching is fresh, while the inspiration is strong, while the decision is clear. Asterisk, asterisk. The sixth enemy. What if I fail? Asterisk, asterisk. This question reveals backwards thinking. The question is not, what if I fail? The question is, what if I succeed? What if these principles work exactly as promised? What if your wealth grows beyond your current imagination? What if your life transforms completely? Are you prepared for that level of abundance and responsibility? But let me address the failure fear directly. The only way you can fail is by not beginning or by quitting before the principles have time to work. If you commit completely and persist consistently, failure is impossible because you are aligning with universal law. Now I call upon you to make the sacred commitment that guarantees your success. This is not a casual decision. This is a life-altering choice that will separate your future from your past. Stand tall, speak clearly, and mean every word. Asterisk, asterisk. I hereby commit my life to the pursuit of wealth through the application of spiritual law. I will practice the morning and evening rituals without exception for 90 days. I will speak the 11 sacred lines with absolute conviction, regardless of circumstances or feelings. I will eliminate poverty thinking from my mind and scarcity language from my speech. I will develop my understanding, clarify my purpose, govern my words, and discipline my actions. I will build my wealth systematically, serve others abundantly, and use my prosperity to advance worthy causes. I am no longer the man who struggled with money. I am the man who commands wealth through faith, understanding, and consistent action. This is my sacred commitment, and I will honor it with my life. Asterisk, asterisk, feel the power of those words entering your consciousness. Feel your spine straightening with resolve. Feel your mind accepting this new identity. You have just declared war on poverty and signed a peace treaty with prosperity. Your old financial life is ending. Your new wealth-building life is beginning. But commitment must be followed immediately by action, or it becomes mere sentiment. This is why I am giving you specific marching orders for the next 24 hours. Your transformation begins not tomorrow, but today. Not when you feel ready, but now while your commitment is strongest. Asterisk, asterisk. Your 24-hour marching orders. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Within the next hour. Asterisk, asterisk. Write your definite purpose in precise, specific language. Include what you want, when you want it, what you will give in return, and what specific service you will render. Make it bold enough to scare you and clear enough to measure. Asterisk, asterisk, before you sleep tonight. Asterisk, asterisk. Find a mirror, stand before it, and practice speaking the 11 sacred lines aloud. Even if you stumble, even if you feel foolish, even if doubt whispers, this is your first act of faith, and faith grows through practice, not perfection. Tomorrow morning, rise 30 minutes earlier than usual. Stand before your mirror. Speak your definite purpose 3 times with increasing conviction. Then speak each of the 11 sacred lines 3 times with absolute faith. Visualize your wealthy life for 5 minutes. Write 3 specific wealth-building actions for that day. Tomorrow evening, review your day's progress. Did you complete your 3 wealth-building actions? What did you learn about money, success, or yourself? Speak your definite purpose again. Repeat the 11 lines with conviction. Visualize your prosperity with emotion. For the next 7 days, maintain perfect consistency with your morning and evening rituals. No exceptions, no excuses, no compromises. Track your compliance daily. Notice changes in your confidence, speech, and decision-making. Begin eliminating poverty-minded associations and activities. These orders are not suggestions, they are requirements for transformation. Every successful man who ever built lasting wealth followed similar disciplines, not because they were naturally disciplined, but because they understood that discipline creates the mental conditions that wealth requires. Remember this truth: your current financial condition is the perfect reflection of your past thinking and acting. If you want different results, you must think differently and act differently, starting immediately. You cannot create a wealthy future with poverty consciousness and undisciplined behavior. The path ahead will challenge you. There will be days when your rituals feel mechanical, when your affirmations sound hollow, when your visualizations seem like fantasy. This is normal and temporary. Continue anyway. Persist through the valley of doubt to reach the mountain of manifestation. There will be people who question your methods, mock your disciplines, and predict your failure. Their opinions are irrelevant. Their doubts have no power over your destiny. Their limitations cannot limit your potential. Stay focused on your practice and let your results be your response. There will be moments when circumstances seem to contradict your affirmations, when bills increase while income stays flat, when obstacles appear larger than opportunities. These are tests of your faith, not evidence of failure. Maintain your practices, especially during these periods, because this is when transformation is actually occurring. Your subconscious mind is like a garden. For years, it has grown weeds of limitation, scarcity, and doubt. These weeds will not disappear immediately when you plant seeds of abundance. But if you tend your mental garden daily with the water of repetition and the sunshine of faith, the weeds will eventually be choked out by the abundance plants you are cultivating. Trust the process. Trust the principles. Trust the laws of spiritual wealth creation that have never failed anyone who applied them with faith and persistence. Most importantly, trust yourself to maintain your commitment when maintaining it becomes difficult. You are embarking on the greatest adventure of your life, the journey from financial slavery to economic freedom, from poverty consciousness to wealth thinking, from limited living to abundant existence, from working for money to making money work for you. But this adventure requires a different kind of courage than physical bravery. It requires moral courage to persist when others quit, mental courage to believe when circumstances suggest doubt, spiritual courage to maintain faith when logic counsels fear. You have this courage within you, or you would not have stayed to hear this complete teaching. You have the potential for wealth, or these principles would not have resonated with your spirit. You have the capacity for transformation, or you would not be ready to make this sacred commitment. The next 90 days will be the most important 3 months of your financial life. They will determine whether you continue living paycheck to paycheck or begin building true wealth. Whether you remain at the mercy of economic circumstances or take command of your financial destiny. Whether you stay trapped in poverty consciousness or break free into abundance thinking, everything changes when you change. Everything improves when you improve. Everything transforms when you transform. The hidden Bible law that attracts unlimited wealth is no longer hidden from you. You know that gold chases understanding. You know that wealth obeys definite purpose. You know that prosperity follows faith backed by consistent action. You know the sacred ritual that reprograms your mind for money magnetism. Knowledge without application creates no transformation. Understanding without implementation produces no results. Wisdom without work generates no wealth. The choice is yours. The knowledge is yours. The principles are yours. The opportunity is yours. The responsibility is yours. Will you remain as you are, or will you become who you could be? Will you accept limitation as permanent, or will you claim abundance as your inheritance? Will you continue making excuses, or will you start making progress? Will you keep living below your potential, or will you rise to your wealth-creating destiny? I have given you everything. The rest is up to you. Your wealth-building life begins now, not someday, not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect. Now, stand up, look in the mirror, speak your commitment aloud. Write your definite purpose. Begin your transformation. The world is waiting for the wealthy man you are becoming. Go build your fortune.